Selling your business may be one of the most important personal and financial events of your lifetime. It requires careful planning as the decisions you make or fail to make can impact the attractiveness of your company to prospective buyers and limit your ability to maximize on your investment and optimize your tax position. Is your company ready? Are you? To answer this, you need to see the whole picture. We are a unique collaboration of 4 leading global advisors. Working together, we can help you put all the pieces in place and make sure nothing is overlooked. We are Exit Plus. Joining me from Washington is Chris Opie at Bernstein Private Wealth Management. From London, Chris Rose at Dentons. From Amsterdam, Mark Carmichael at STS Capital Partners. And from New York, Eric Gelb at PKF O'Connor Davis. I'm Shahnaz Nasser with Dentons. Welcome to Preparing for Life After the Sale. Mark, does whom you sell your company to affect one's life after the sale?
Thanks, Shahnaz. I think that's a good question. It's a good topic that I think sellers should be considering now before they commence, upon their own exit journey. So I'm glad you've raised that question. We've discussed in a previous video how strategic and financial buyers are the most common categories of acquirers likely to be seen in an exit process. And while they vary considerably in their views taken on the seller's business, how they ascribe a valuation to the business, and ultimately how they may structure the proposed acquisition of your business is something to be considered. And strategics are often viewed as the most user-friendly to sellers, as they typically require less of the outgoing seller's time than, say, a financial buyer may require. Strategics often get it, when it comes to the business that they'll be acquiring. And as such, they may have no requirements for the founder or other key shareholders to remain on board after an initial transition period. The obvious caveats are that if you have a solid senior management team in place, that makes the new owner's job much easier. But a strategic buyer often presents the opportunity for the shareholders to depart the business shortly after closing, moving forward unencumbered and without any long-term commitments to the business.
Yeah. And this touches upon some of the issues we raised on prior videos. What are your motivations for selling, and why you're doing this, and how quickly do you want to get out? I mean, if you're retirement age, if there are health issues, you may be looking just for a clean break. But if you go with a financial buyer, or certainly with a management buyout, you may retain a stake. And if there's an earnout, and this is probably the key words you should remember from this part of the video, this is an entirely focused endeavor for the next few years. This is not your easy ride. These are highly negotiated. They'll be dependent on certain KPIs. And it's a heavily negotiated document, 10 pages, really. So if you're looking for a quick route, strategic buyer is probably it. But if you have an earnout situation, you should be ready to focus the way you have been in recent years until you finally exit completely.
Particularly, Chris, when you have KPIs, or to define it real quick, key performance indicators, which are metrics, it's very important that you know what's expected of you with the new owners. We're seeing more and more, not only earnouts, but money held in escrow. And it's particularly important in COVID, because people can't forecast the results. There's a lot of wild cards: where the economy is going, how's it coming back, what's demand for products, what are costs, whether inflation comes into play. So we're seeing money go into escrow more and more, which is part of an earnout. The basic targets, profitability target, then you have a bonus, and then a stretch one. So, how you feel about that, and what's afterlife, your after sale life is going to be tied in with that. Again, whether you just hand someone the keys and say, take care, have a nice day, or whether you're really in that. And we see it all over the board. So it's really is important to consider what you want, and what's the highest likelihood, what's pathway will give you the most sale proceeds.
Thanks, Eric. Look, talking about the highest possible sale proceeds, let's imagine that you've executed your perfectly formed pre-transaction estate and personal plan just perfectly, and we wind up meeting after the deal has been consummated. And the question is, what happens next? And ultimately, I would challenge an entrepreneur to consider balance in their future along 4 axes rather than the traditional 2 of risk and return. And maybe the additional 2 are actually cost and control. And the control in particular is oftentimes for us most sensitive to an entrepreneur who's recently relinquished control of their business, translated illiquid value into now cold, hard financial cash in many cases, and are being asked to now relinquish control once again of their life's work, now translated into the form of cash, to somebody like an investment manager or a financial advisor. That's no tall order, and we understand that. And that's why I think cost is one of the important questions that we will talk about. Now, cost comes with the other side of the same coin, value. And we think that it's critical to build a portfolio on the basis of what you want to achieve, both in the most personal terms of what do you want your life to be like, and realistically, what do you need to generate from a portfolio, and how can we help you doing that? One of the most important questions for entrepreneurs we talk to today in receipt of their portfolio value is, what impact can I have with my money? Maybe that's philanthropic impact. Maybe it's in improving the lives of those around you. Maybe it's actually how you can address some of the challenges in the world in a capitalistic way through intentional investing. All conversations that we love to have, and ultimately, hopefully, build a basis of trust to start a process of running a financial portfolio for you and your family in the years ahead.
Thanks, Chris. To conclude, here are 3 takeaways from this episode. 1. Post-exit life will depend on whom you sell to. 2. Keep your family engaged. Selling a business can be emotionally straining. And 3. Seek an appropriate wealth management team. They will help you determine how best to invest the sales proceeds. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for watching.
How exit ready are you and your business? Find out using our free exit readiness assessment. Simply complete our confidential online survey, which should take you no more than 10 minutes, and we'll prepare and send you your personalized report together with your readiness score. Visit www.dentonsexitplus.com for more information.